Hi, Darren. Thanks for coming on to have a chat with me today. Just to let everyone know who might be watching and listening, just introduce yourself, like your name, occupation, age, where you're from, and a little bit about your sort of cycling background.
I
After,
am Darren McCarthy, 53 years old. I work on the railway. I'm driver team manager, manage train drivers. Cycling, I've been cycling for about 8 or 9 years, all road cycling that. Did a little bit of mountain biking, but went back to road biking. Never had any structured sort of training or anything like that. All I've done is just ride my bike and in my mind going, the more I ride, the fitter I'll get, which was working to a degree. Lots of where I live in Wakefield, I've got Peak District, I've got Penistone and all that. So there's lots of climbs to do around there. A lot of climbing for strength. But nothing was ever structured. And I'd be on and off, get injured quite a bit. I've got arthritis in both my knees. If I pushed too much, my knees were hurting and that. So then that had knocked me back a bit. So yeah, that was it really. I wanted some sort of structure in my life around cycling and that. So that's why I sort of looked at coming and doing something like this.
and what was your main sort of struggles with your fitness and nutrition before
Yeah.
working with me?
So no, I've always been not bad at eating. I've never been a bad eater. A couple of times going out on the bike, not really knowing exactly when to eat. So to eat them when I've been hungry, wait until you get hungry and then start eating. Then I've always eaten wild wonders because I've never wanted to be massively committed to cycling. It's just what I really enjoyed and it was good for my mental health.
Mm.
Being out on the road, especially the quiet roads, does a world of good for me. So nutrition has never been a massive target for me. Neither losing weight, it was just about riding and enjoying it. I knew that the less you weigh, the better it's going to be to climb up an hill, but it's never really, I've never entered anything or done anything to have a goal. So I think my goal was to go out and ride. If it was a club ride, try and survive without being dropped as well sometimes.
Yeah.
So
That was your
those are-
main cycling beforehand.
just trying to maybe do a ride during a week. I've got a turbo training set up, and even doing that, I was just doing a whip ride and nothing specific.
Yeah.
Literally no structure other than ride my bike,
Yeah.
and that was it. Nothing else.
Did those particular struggles have any impact on your cycling on a day-to-day basis, or was it something you didn't really consider too much beforehand?
No, I suppose never really looked into it. It's like I said before. I started with C group, and then I went up to the Bs. I could cycle decently with the Bs, but then I might not cycle for a couple of weeks or drop off during winter, try and pick it back up in April, and then always be kicking myself going, wow, I've just done 3 months to get myself fit. Well, to a decent, to a reasonable standard, what I think is a reasonable standard for me. Then winter comes and it sort of tails off, the bad weather's there and you finish work and you can't be bothered to jump on turbo or you might jump on once a week or whatever. And it just never, and then I go on my first club ride when weather gets better and everybody's got the shorts on and you're just blowing all the time. And it's just like, it's just not, then it doesn't become fun. And then you're putting that hard work in again. And it's like,
Yeah.
why have I done that hard work till summer, after summer, and then let it drop off again? And I wanted to maintain ticking more than just ticking over, not necessarily going as hard as what I've done this summer,
Yeah.
training with you, but keep ticking over. So when the weather does get better, I can just fit straight back into it, really.
Yeah. So what particular was the tipping point that made you wanna sort of reach out to me and thought enough was enough in terms of where you were, in terms of, where you wanted to head?
So I did a Sporties, 2014. I did the ETAP Tour de France Sportive round Yorkshire. It was enjoyable, but it was struggle getting around. I've always looked at the Mallorca 312. For years I've been wanting to do it. And then I'm not getting any younger.
Yeah.
And I just thought this year, or well, next year is going to be my year. It was really well organised this year. The feedback was very good. So I thought, right, I'm going to go for it. I paid through a company to guarantee a ticket because it's a bit like Glastonbury tickets when they come out. It's it's very difficult to get them. And then as soon as you get them, you're booking your flights and booking your hotel. Well, all mine's, I do everything's booked, flights booked, everything's booked. The goal is just be one. I want to do the 312, not the 167 or the 225.
Yeah.
I want to do the big daddy. That's how my brain works. I want to do it and go for it big.
So that was your main focus. Was there any
Yeah.
particular reason that you reached out to me aside,
So,
like, other cycling coaches?
well, I just saw you on Instagram and that. I like the over 40s bit. That caught me straight away because,
Yeah.
you know, you're out on your bike and you see something, you try and chase them down, or you chase them down, it's a mate to you or a bloke or something, or an old woman, and then you see someone keep passing them because you realise that you just can't do that anymore. So like the over 40s league, that sort of like that bit of it. And just watching your videos are just different and just the way you looked at stuff. And it wasn't just about, so just, you know, like chucking stuff fitness at your time. It was a bit more than fitness. Wasn't just about cycle, about your nutrition. It's about doing your weights and doing your, you know, you don't necessarily have to have dumbbells and kettlebells and all that at home. You can do it with your own body weight.
Yeah.
I just clicked that watching several of your Instagrams and it just sort of like, I hit a good nerve.
Yeah.
Then I contacted you and we went from there really.
So it was more like the kind of the holistic approach of your well-being on and off the bike that appealed to
Yeah,
you, see the performance side of things.
yeah, definitely. And I know when we first had that first ever chat, I knew you were somebody who wasn't going to try and force something down my neck. I spent 13 years in the army
Yeah.
and I had enough fitness force down my neck there. You had no option. And I knew that with you through the conversations, the chat that we had, that first ever chat, that you're not somebody who's going to be ramming me down the throat, but you are also going to be guiding me and pushing me in the right direction and giving me the right places to go to, you
Yeah.
know, supporting me in the right way. Or pedantic with the way he felt. It was encouraging. That's the
Yeah.
word. You was always encouraging all that. No matter what I did, it was always encouraging. Whether I did well as I did rubbish, she still was encouraging for me, and that was really good. And you know, it's supported me and give me that more drive, really.
Did you have any sort of like hesitations, like sort of before signing up, before sort of reaching out to me in any way?
My biggest hesitation would have been, can my body do this? Am I able to do this? So I know we did when we started off, and I told you what I was able to do. We started off with 4 rides a week, so on the Monday, then the Tuesday, we did the weights and cycled Tuesday, cycled Wednesday, cycled Thursday. I realised after a couple of weeks that it was just a bit too much for me.
Yeah.
And we had a chat and I took it away, and I think that helped as well. So more isn't always the best. It's more now, it's more quality. It's a
Yeah.
quality you do. It's not, you know, like what I was doing before I met you. And before I come on this, I was just riding. And yeah, I was improving. But the amount I've improved over the past 4 months, that'll take me about 4 years.
Yeah.
So like, it's definitely pushed me. I mean,
Yeah.
even all my mates at club and all that, they've seen how much I've changed and how my fitness has, and I can gladly sit on front. And it's not about, look at me, look how good I am. It's just I'm able to do it. I can just do it. I can happily sit at back of it as well. You
Yeah.
know, it's just nice for them to help other people out as well who are struggling and get them to sit on their wheel because I've sat on plenty of wheels in the time.
Yeah.
So it's good to give that back.
And in terms of like, any particular like goals when we started working together, what were your main top one or two goals that you wanted to set yourself over the 4 month
So
period?
then what I wanted to improve my fitness, you know, get fit and not have aches and pains. So I've got arthritis in both my knees and that. And I like doing the weights, doing the kettlebells, doing the stretches and all that. That's helped improve that. So that was one of them, to sort of be able to carry on cycling, keep cycling
Yeah.
and enjoy it. That's the thing. When it becomes a chore, so when people talk about that, I'm on a diet, I'm on a diet. For me, a diet can be a chore. Just eat healthy, watch what you're eating, but still enjoy stuff. As you know, we talked about my bars of chocolate and I've demolished a few of them. I think I did a month without any chocolate, which is really good for me. But
Yeah.
then I ain't gone back on it, but I still have it. But I think you've got to be able to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
We're not professional athletes. We're people who enjoy cycling and want to improve the cycling.
Yeah.
So it can just enjoy it more, not be blowing out your backside, going up a mountain or going up a climb. Just enjoy that climb. And like I said, I've just come back from Mallorca and one of the clients, me and the mate, we talking. We weren't blasting up there. We just sat talking, going up there. And before we knew it, was at top.
Yeah.
It was the satisfaction of that. Instead of muscle a year ago, we got to top and there'd been like this bath of sweat and just like blowing and not being able to talk. Even if we're doing it at the same pace last week, I think there was no way of being able to do that.
Yeah. And
It just proves that the hard work, through the guidance what you give me and the push, and the hard work from me,
yeah.
it has made that happen.
Yeah. And just giving you, I suppose, like you said, the goal in a sense to be able to like enjoy just riding more, like just not like you said, just rather than feeling, you're still enjoying riding when you're maybe not as fit, but you're going to suffer a bit more than maybe you would want to.
I think another one, the club rides, when I used to do club rides, I used to come back from a club ride and I wouldn't be able to do anything because I was absolutely blown.
Yeah.
You know, it's 70, 80 mile club ride. You come back and I would just not move. And I was
Yeah.
enjoying the ride, but then I couldn't do anything when I got home. But
Yeah.
since I've got fishing and all that, I've been able to do a club ride and come back and being able to do stuff.
Yeah.
It works both ways. But that's not because I'm able to do other stuff. We'll go out for Sunday dinner or we'll go for a walk in the park or whatever. I'm able
Yeah.
to do that way before. I just couldn't because I was too shattered.
Yeah.
That part helped as well.
Certainly, I suppose when we started working together, it's an aspect of what probably attracted you to work with me in the first place is that balance of benefiting your well-being off the bike as much as on the bike, so you don't want to be taken away. You don't want to be sacrificing everything for the bike and
No, no,
away from other aspects of your life, your job and family and work and things like that. There's got to be that balance there, doesn't there?
no, definitely 100%. I think that's where it becomes, especially if you're in a relationship, that if you miss your cycle or your husband cycles, whatever, then that's fine. But if you don't,
Yeah.
then you've got to, I think, definitely finding that balance.
Yeah.
Happy wife, happy life.
How would you sum up your fitness and nutrition now since working together?
So I do eat better during the week, a lot better at work and all that. I'm aware of what I eat. I always have done, but I'm just a little bit more. I always said to you that a girl wasn't losing weight. I've lost, I think, nearly 4 kilos
Yeah.
in total. And that's just not through that. I never did the hexes. We know we discussed
Yeah.
about hexing and all that. I
Yeah.
never did anything like that.
Yeah.
I count my calories through my fitness pal.
Yeah.
Just fueling on the bike as well. I'm eating now before I'm hungry. So
Yeah.
I know when to fuel. I know what I'm fueling with. I've changed my type of fuel that I have now. I never had a problem with the other stuff. I just find it's more enjoyable. I don't
Yeah.
find it as if I'm eating sports food.
Yeah.
Feels as though I'm having a cheeky little back while I'm out on my bike. So that's good. We discussed this before. Don't wait till you're hungry. Just eating. I've got a reminder on my Garmin now that told me, right, fuel. And not once have I bonked. Even when I was in Mallorca, but I did bonk once. I had enough fuel, which we got not at one point did I feel cold. I need to stop. I need to get something to eat. Where previous times when I've been,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the nutrition part, I could have done better maybe in respect with the hexing and all that, but I wasn't after all that. So,
Yeah.
I was, and we have discussed that.
Yeah.
But I am happy where I am with food and that.
Yeah.
Nutrition on my bike.
Yeah.
Knowing I've looked into it more as well. I've not just looked, right, everybody's having that bar, let's have that bar. Looked at what that bar gives you. What do you get out of that bar? That gel, that drink, what does it give you? How many grams of carbs are in it? What do I need? So I've gone more in depth. I haven't got ridiculous,
Yeah.
but I'm more aware now. Not let's just get something that pro cyclist is taking or that club's taking or whatever my mate's taking. I've looked into it.
Do you feel like the time we spent together sort of discussing these things, giving you sort of a better sort of foundation of nutritional knowledge to make your own decisions?
Yeah,
Someone's advertising this, I must use that.
sometimes you get them saying, oh, try this, I use this and it works. I've used SIS for years. To be fair, I've never had an issue with them, but I've never really looked into what they actually give you. There's
Yeah.
an energy and carbs. I started looking a bit more and just supplementing a bit better. I'm listening to what my body said. I've got ulcerative colitis, so I've got to be aware of what I eat and what I'm putting in my body. So far, it's been pretty good, so I can't complain.
Right. And fitness wise, where would you sort of sum up where you started to where you are now?
I've always been a fit bloke. I've always done fitness through the army and that. And I've always been I used to run those until my knees got shot and then the cycling started. I was always that could handle myself. I could do B rides and I was all right. Maybe some days I'd be hanging a bit.
Yeah.
But now I keep getting told to go to A group and get out of the Bs. I've done a couple of A rides with them. I'll be honest, I love the rides, but it's different people in that group and it's
Yeah.
not for me. That's the only thing that stopped me. Otherwise, I would ride with A's. I want to enjoy it as well. The A's tend to be head down, ass, let's go.
Yeah.
And I'm not for that. I'm for more enjoy it. So my fitness has gone up massively.
Yeah.
My FTP, we've discussed about that because I've done mine on Roomsy.
Yeah.
I think it's just totally different
Yeah.
to what it will be on Zwift. And that's what's maybe swaying me to go back to Zwift actually, because I think my FTP is more than what it should be because of how I'm performing and
Yeah.
me sort of my data that's coming back and all that. But I let it see. But I
Yeah.
don't know what to do about it. I don't
Yeah.
know whether I do a month on Zwift or whatever and get my FTP and go back to Rosie because I know how much that can impact on my training if I'm not at the right FT training. I'm not training to the potential that my body can do.
Yeah.
I don't want to undertrain. I want to be training where I'm gaining something, where I'm
Yeah.
making changes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Making sure you're not plateauing.
We discussed that because I
Yeah.
pointed into it. I said to you, I'm finding these rides too easy.
Yeah.
We did an FTP, and my FTP went up, and I felt all right then. And then I did them sweet spots of the week.
Yeah.
I really enjoy all the training. There's not one real ride I've not. People seem sadistic, but I've always come off great. I love that. That was brilliant. Sweating buckets on that, but
Yeah.
it was really good and worth every bit of sweat. I'm going to do another FTP. I think I needed to decide between a little bit. Because the roof is set different. That's the
Yeah.
problem with it.
They didn't do a ramp test on Ruby.
No, don't have to do around. So I'm gonna have to have a look
Yeah.
properly and see. Have a chat with you about it.
Join Swift if you can get a trial period,
Yeah,
14-day free trial, and just do the ramp test on there.
yeah,
FTP. Because obviously there's different ways of testing it. Ramp test, all out 20-minute effort. The ramp test is probably a little bit more uh, comfortable. If you're not comfortable sustaining a hard effort over 20,
yeah,
it gradually goes up by 1 minute each time until you can't pedal. Probably takes you 20 minutes, but 20-minute effort, you'd have to have a 20-minute warm up so that it's a good probably 45-minute workout to get you primed and
yeah.
ready for that.
When I've gone through it, I think there is a ramp test. I'll have to have a look.
I saw when you were in Mallorca that you did get a few new PBs on your power numbers on some of the climbs.
Yeah, there's some good ones. It's good. I went out and bought some power meter pedals. It's good to see that as well, that it's
Yeah,
going up. And when you see figures like that, it's
yeah,
great. You encouragement and saying you've done well.
yeah,
But when you personally see the figures,
yeah,
I think while I was in Mallorca, I got 2 emails saying the thresholds have gone up through Training Peak. The
exactly.
VO2 max has gone
Yeah,
up
yeah,
and the FTP went up. And for me, that's encouraging.
yeah,
It's not only coming from your encouragement, but when you get some data as well.
yeah,
I think that's good as well. Where it is, it works for me. Maybe not for everybody and all that, but it definitely works for me. Give me that boost of because, as I said before in the chat to you before, a bit down with a few things in New York. Everything didn't go well. It was a bit disastrous sometimes, but them sort of little things
yeah,
reminds me of why I cycle and why I've spent the past 4 months training like I have.
yeah,
It's worked. And it's paid off. It's now a matter of carrying it all on, which I definitely will do.
yeah. I suppose you need those kind of reinforcements as well because you can feel fitter in yourself, but when you get a measurement, whether that's a weight loss measurement, power measurement, VO2 max measurement, whatever it might be, it reinforces the habits that and the training that you're doing is paying off rather than you just feeling fitter. Because sometimes you can feel fitter and then think, I've done a fitness test and not really progressed as much as maybe I expected. And then it gives me some adjustment to continue progressing and pushing harder or
Yeah,
adapt things. So it provides good feedback. And I think, especially for you doing the PBs when you're riding is always much better because you're just riding. You're not necessarily sat doing a test where you're just focused on the numbers. You're just pushing as hard as you can, climbing, and you tend to probably get a better FTP when you're out on the road because you're focused on the climb itself rather than just sustaining a power number.
yeah. I
Yeah,
saw that one of the lads who I rode with, the goes off his power meter all the time. He looks
yeah,
at and he's got the little Garmin 130
yeah,
and his power's in the middle. That's the biggest figure there, and that's what it goes off. And I said to him, to be fair, I don't know enough from it. I know what it means and everything, but I don't know enough of how much I can sustain because it's all about doing the 100 kilometre. They go, what can you sustain that? And I went, I've got no idea, mate. I just
yeah,
pedal till I'm blowing and I can't do anything else. And when it comes to doing that, I said to my partner, he decided to go dodge on me and I had no power and I just pedaled and
yeah,
I got a PB.
yeah,
I bet it by 40 seconds from 2017. Not
yeah,
only did I beat it, I'm older as well. And it's an achievement as well. It is when I look back at it,
yeah,
it was great that I did that. And I got, and even like my local roads, so the last like local ride I did, there's a bit where I can turn right and do hills, or I turn left and do flats. So I went right, I did a couple of hills, and then I went left and I did some flatlands
Yeah.
and come back in, and I got shed loads. I was trying, but I wasn't being ridiculous. I was pushing myself,
Yeah.
but not to the point where we're like having to stop. I was just constantly cycling, good cycling,
Yeah.
strong cycling it
Yeah.
was. And I felt good all the way around. Even come back, I felt good. And I sleepers were up on ladders on roof doing stuff and things. So, but I worked up and I got shed loads of PBs.
Yeah.
And that was great. And again, that's a good reinforcement to sort of like going, everything, all the hard work I've done,
Yeah.
it's paying off. I think the hardest thing now is continuing it. That's the thing, because, we're sort of taking the tail off with you. And then I've got this foundation, which is brilliant. I've got to keep on top of it. I do believe I've got the motivation. So I've got the 3-1-12 next year. So that's my goal. And I've got some stuff that I need that I'll put into place. And so I do carry on training, because otherwise I've just wasted your time getting me to where I am, and I've wasted my time. I don't want to. What's weird is I'm waiting for that, because every single year they have this day where it just goes, I get an injury or something, and
Okay.
because I'm a bit hesitant with it. I'm all right, but I'm a little hesitant thinking that, because I was on about when we went to Mallorca and I went, "Oh, you've been smashing it, you've been doing this, you've been doing that." And I went, "I've not had a bad day yet." I was so weird, because I've always had a
Yeah.
bad day
Yeah.
every year for the past 4 years. I think my knees have just come this time of year. But hopefully now, because I've got more strength in my knees, more strength in the muscles around that, because I've been doing more stuff, then I won't have that. Then I will have that strength to sort of motor through. And then if I feel it, I'm listening to my body more. So hopefully that day won't come.
Do you feel more confident in yourself with the knowledge and skills and the foundations that we've worked on over the last 4 months to feel that you've got a set of skills now that you can understand how to structure your training better, how to manage your body better, rest when you need to, push when you need to, rather than just following a blind plan and then once that plan's gone,
Yeah,
you haven't
yeah,
really got
100%.
yeah,
I think even about halfway through this, I was saying to you, "Well, I can't fit this in today." And I'm like trying to think, how do I squeeze this ride in? He's going to kill me, and he's not going to be happy and all that. And you're like, "No matter, it's fine." And especially when you come from a military background, like that just come into it, you fine, don't worry about it. That just doesn't come in. You find time. And it was like, sort of, don't matter, it's fine.
mm,
Just rest. If you think you're too tired, you just rest. If you can't fit in, it's fine. It doesn't matter. And there was a couple of times when I found I need to get this in, going back to my old ways. But now it's like, no, it doesn't matter. Even coming back from Mallorca this year, I got my last Friday. My last ride was last Thursday, and today was my first ride since coming back. I've sort of rested.
yeah,
I had intentions of going on yesterday, but due to work, I never managed it. But today I've done it. And it was great to get back up, because I was a little apprehensive thinking, what a week off now, how my leg's going to be. And it was just a nice steady zone too. It was a good one to go back into at 41, it was 41 minute zone too.
yeah,
But it felt good. I got up and felt all right, felt good. You're back on the bike again. That's me back on now.
yeah,
I just carry this on, and I just keep driving forward. I mean, get to 3-1-2. It was interesting. I spoke to a guy on the bus, and we was on about Mallorca, and he went, "Oh, I did the 3-1-2 last year." He said to me, and his wife went, "Is that when you went to a dark place, darling?" And he was like, "Yes, it was." That made me laugh. Yeah, I'll go to a dark place.
it's a good test of your mental and physical capacity in it, and a lot of
Yeah,
it mental after a certain point as well, because you've got the fitness and the strength to do it. It's just overcoming those challenges when you have those, because you're going to be on the bike for a long time. You're not going to be feeling great for the whole time. There's going to be periods where you feel bad, and then you're going to feel good again, and that's what cycling is about, isn't it? It's overcoming those.
to be fair, I got saddle sores, and I don't know whether anybody's been open sores, because it's
Yeah,
like it's on your backside, and I got these saddle sores, just little points where it was mega sore and all that. Could have recognised it and did something about it instead of going out and go away. And as a man, I think men tend to do that. They just leave it. And I've sorted it out, and I'm all right now. I do hydrocortisone,
yeah,
but people who don't use it, hydrocortisone, it's worked, and it's all gone away now, and it's fine. But yeah, I think for people who will do listen to this, if you get saddle sores, don't panic. Just use chamois cream now, uh, and treat it. Don't be embarrassed by it. You know, just make sure I get out my shorts when I was off in this training, and I get out, especially at home. It's different when you're away because I mean, I particularly don't like it when you come back and you sit hot, sweaty and all that. But when I go turbo training straight away, I take my shorts off. I don't stay in sweaty shorts and that and get out of them. But yeah, for blokes don't talk a lot
Yeah.
about stuff like that. You can't talk about like sensitive thing that, but yeah, don't be embarrassed by it, man. Just
Yeah.
treat it, look at it, find it.
It happens to us all. If you're cycling enough, you're gonna get a little bit of discomfort every now and then, like you said, just good hygiene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't move though, because
Yeah.
sometimes you try and stand up and you just lose that momentum, just to give that pressure a little bit of
Yeah.
release. Different when you're out on roads, you can
That's
sit
right.
up and have that little bit, but when you're on turbo,
Yeah.
I think these sessions are good, an hour's enough, but there is a couple that have been an hour and 10 and all that, and they've been all right. Tonight's for an hour and 5, and it
Yeah.
was all right. It's enough though.
Yeah.
When you start doing more than that, you end up fidgeting a bit more
Yeah.
because of that uncomfort, because you just haven't got that
Yeah.
ability to stand up as much.
Yeah. That's very true. It's very different on a turbo trainer for 2 or 3 hours in comparison to being out on the road for the same time. Yeah.
So
Something
just
to think.
think when you're doing 312 on Rover.
Yeah. I did 100K on Swift this year.
Oh, did you?
I was on there for 3 hours, and that's the longest I've done on a turbo. I've done 2 hours before, but I didn't think I would do it. But I actually got quite into the. They do like Flanders racing every Saturday.
Oh, wow.
It generally takes me about 3 hours, depending on the route. And there's normally a good climb in there, so you can get out of the saddle a bit as well. Most of the time, you're just sat on the saddle, so you do have to be more mindful of getting out, moving around. The time went quite quickly because you're trying
Yeah,
to catch people in front, and you're seeing some people behind you. And you got your position in the race.
right.
Kind of, it's a race, but because it's mixed with A, Bs, and Cs, sometimes you go off too fast with the faster groups ahead of you. But it's normally a lot of time when I was doing it, over 100 people doing it, 150, and it gives you a place in. So you think, oh, I can see if I can get that place in. And I think the last one I did, there was a guy passed me at the bottom of the climb, and then I passed him just at the top of the climb just
Yeah.
to get. So it's just having those like baits to keep me going definitely helped me do the whole 100K. If I just went on and did 100K without a race on my own, I don't think I would have, because I was in a race and I was thinking about my position and try to, pace myself and get another better position. It did help me be more motivated and committed than I would have done if I was just going to sit on a turbo train and do 100.
Yeah. Somebody from
Yeah.
club did an 100 mile of the month by
Yeah.
themselves. I know, like, oh, that
Yeah.
must have been dreadful. But I don't know why I went to do it. Yeah, I just wanted to do it. And it was one of the females, she's a cyclist, and she's a strong cyclist, but she said,
Good.
older, just put
Yeah.
off doing 100 milers.
Yeah. You got to be mindful because turbo training for an hour is great. You can get a good workout, but anything more than that, maybe 90 minutes
Yeah,
push, but you want to be mindful because you want to enjoy it as much as it's going to benefit your training. You don't want to just be. I think a friend of mine did so much during COVID that he's not been on the bike since because he just hates it.
right.
So it's a shame that he's not really riding with us much either. And I think sometimes you can push yourself too much and then hate the fact that you've got to get on a turbo trainer, where having that break in the summer and then jumping on in the winter is good because there's a goal in the winter, but you want to have that break, don't you? So you feel a
Oh,
little bit more
definitely.
energized when you come back on the turbo. So yeah, that's good. So Darren, could you just list your achievements since investing in Cycle Lean mentorship? Would be your main achievements?
So definitely stronger, not only physically, mentally. Um, Lost 4 kg that I didn't think I was going to do because it was always better nutrition, looking at me out fueling, mainly on the bike, not necessarily when I'm at home, because I've always been quite good at that. Structure, I think that's a big one, having that structure. And don't be surprised what your body can actually do with how far you can push yourself. When you feel as though you're tired, you can go that little bit further there. I'd say that's the biggest ones, really. That structure for me has been good. It's been brilliant, really enjoyed it.
And how does that generally make you feel now, like on a daily basis? How has your mindset
It
changed around everything?
Yeah, it's pretty good because when I was over Mallorca, I bumped into somebody who works over there, and she says, "Oh, God, you've changed a lot since last time I saw you. You've lost a bit of weight." I was never a big bloke anyway,
Yeah.
so that's always. And then somebody else said it later that night, and I've not seen him for about 5 months or something like that. It's like, "You've lost weight, what you been doing?" And, so that's it's quite nice. I'm just looking even with, so when going out on club rides as well, I've been stronger on club rides, and some go, "Oh, you might have to pass me on to that training coach because it seems to be working better for you." It's people telling you, and then just seeing it myself, putting clothes on, seeing my body, my body hasn't changed massive, but just my legs have changed in strength-wise and looking at them more muscly and that. But I've put the work in for it. None of this has been a given.
Yeah,
You've got to put the work in for it. If you don't, you ain't gonna get it. And for me, when you invest in something, you've got to be committed. I have been committed all the way. I wanted this. What if I don't get on? You're dead easy to get on with, easy going, very encouraging, very supportive, and I've really enjoyed it. I'd love to stay
yeah,
months and months, but it's what it is.
yeah, yeah. And it's been a pleasure, absolutely training you down and get to know you. You know, what was nice, we managed to catch up in person as well, which was
It
good.
was good.
It was really great to meet you in person, and it's been a joy to train you. All the hard work you've achieved is down to you as much as I'm always 100% committed to all my clients. It's a two-way street, like you said. If you're 100% committed, the passion to help you even more and go the extra mile is obviously going to always be there because you're following through. All that hard work and achievement comes down to you making that extra time to get those sessions in. Made that extra time to get up early sometimes to do sessions. You can do it when you get some structure, but you do have to be a little bit more committed with your time and make that extra time. And you've done that, and that's reap the rewards for you. So, you give yourself a big pat on the back and well done for all the hard work you've achieved and the fact you're cycling better, enjoying riding more because you're cycling stronger, got better knowledge of nutrition and structured training, which is fantastic. That's going to give you a springboard for going on and building up towards the
Yeah,
312 and beyond as well. It's those life lessons that you can then take on as well, which is the whole point of the mentorship. Provide those skills to help you evolve and continue as a cyclist in your own time in the future as well.
yeah, definitely.
What would you say to someone thinking of reaching out to me if they're a bit hesitant about jumping onto the Cycle League mentorship and working with me one to one?
Um, don't hold back, just go for it. Speak to yourselves. I mean, I was pretty much there anyway before I spoke to you. I just needed that sort of, what's the word for it? Just reassurance that what I was doing was gonna, I'm not gonna get to end of 4 months when with our one to one that we've done, end of 4 months and bit same. You know, you're 100% committed, like you said, and you've got to be committed to do it. I think if you're going to do something like this, you've got to be, you've got to be, so don't be hesitant. Just go for it. Jump in 2 feet, have a blast. It's a good laugh.
Yeah.
It's hard work, but it pays off. It's nice to cycle and not be blowing out your backside all the time and enjoying it
Yeah.
and getting to see things that you might not have seen because you were blowing last time. Well, it's true though, because you
Yeah.
don't, because you miss a lot of things. So, there's some beautiful sights in this country, and if you get to cycle abroad, you get to see all them as well. So
Yeah.
it's, yeah, go for it.
You
Definitely
might
go
just
for it.
head down, chew and bar for the whole
Well,
time. I'm
just
fine.
try to get up a climb and
Yeah.
missing stuff and all that. When I went this time Mallorca, I saw more stuff this time than what I did the year before when I was quite fit. I
Yeah.
saw even more this year because I was able to see it going up the climbs. I didn't know that was there last year. I never saw that. Seeing beautiful, amazing views whenever you are in England, there's always somewhere.
Yeah.
Then you go abroad, you've got different ones to see. So yeah, it's good for that as well.
Is there anything else you'd like to add? How would you sum that up for yourself?
Hard work, but always rewarding.
Yeah.
Very enjoyable. I've enjoyed that ride. It's been hard work, but I've enjoyed it. It's been really good. Just meeting you. Like we said, we got a chance to meet in London when I come down. Your supportiveness has been fantastic on and off the bikes. Been really good. Really, thank you very much.
Worth the investment?
Yeah. It is. It is worth it.
Yeah.
You've got, I'll just say the biggest thing, if you're going to invest,
Yeah.
you've got to be committed because otherwise you're wasting money. You've got to look at it when you do it, that you're going to carry this on. This isn't a one-time fix. This is a start to a future of your cycling getting better.
Mm.
It's definitely not a quick fix. So you want to be committed where you're going to do it. It's not about just doing one race or one ride. It's about moving forward and carrying on your cycling and enjoying it.
Yeah.
Go enjoy it.
Yeah. That's a great line to end on as well, Darren. Like, we're all doing this cycling thing to improve. We've always got particular goals that we might be aiming for, but ultimately we're riding because we enjoy the sport. We want to
Yeah,
enjoy it as much as we can. We're not pro cyclists. There's no gold medal at the end of it. No one's gonna give you a trophy for getting another PB or FTP. Are you getting the most out of your time on a bike and enjoying it as much as you physically can? That's the key in it. So
yeah, definitely.
brilliant. Darren, we'll leave it at that. Thank you very
Yeah,
much for your
will do.
time this evening, having a chat with me and helping other people get a good idea of what it's like working with me from your perspective. I really, really appreciate it. And thank you very much.